Okay, Yorkshire Gilts. We're going to get rolling here. First of two pins, 112 litters. These are 10th of December farrowed gilts. First time gilt farrowing here. This is a gilt that Ben Kronberg and Lane Ridner bought in our all-in bred gilt sale. One of the highlight gilts there. Got her and then decided that they wanted to partner and farrow her here, and I'm glad they did. She's a Turning Point Dominator. And that gilt's actually from Kilmer's. We bought her last spring, and she's one that's got that good sow line back the way. The 16, it goes back to it's a clone on the south side there. So it goes back to their good stuff and their leap sow on back the way. So there's a lot of a lot of good stuff going on there. That stuff has worked extremely well. The clones making crosses and pures, so a lot of potency in that pedigree. Turning Point Dominator, sired by Big Paul. Big Paul, I've talked about the Crossroads board, the Rotoball bred hog, consistent making bears and gilts that feed and win. Decided to use him on a lot of all-by-myself stuff, and then, as I said earlier, we put him back on different stuff because we're getting a box about every week, and just offered little differences here on some boards we had in stud, and I'm glad we did. We're going to start off with 112-2. 112-2, I think, is the right kind of Big Paul in terms of her proportions. She offers a shot more length aside, very, very rugged, heavy boned, heavy duty. Big Paul, sired the grand overall gilt there for Hunter Logue, the Rotoball gilt at Louisville last year, and she was a hog that's still big enough in her type and kind and had the bone work, and that's the similar build of this gilt. She's got a little more length aside. She's got a monster big hind leg. She's square off both ends, and I think the right kind of muscle pattern. I think this gilt's going to feed awesome. And the proven sow line that she's out of, I've got so much predictability on both sides, combining that Rotoball and the Kilmer line in this gilt. And that's when we did the mating before we sold her as a bred gilt. That was our hope, and she did that, and that's what that gilt is. Next gilt is going to be 112-4. 112-4 is a gilt. She's a little bit smaller in her kind, and there's a little more sort in terms of consistency of size in this litter. First-time gilt. She did a nice job. Raised a couple cross fosters as well, but she just didn't get the meat and potatoes yet. She's one that's got good shape, got a nice look to her, a little raller in her type and kind. I think she stretches on a little bit farther than the sister we just talked about. I think she gets into that August setting if you need her to. Early December, not every early December Yorkshire gilt's going to make it into August. I do think her build and type and kind, she might allow you to do that. Her sister's probably going to finish in that July setting we just talked about. But shape, look, design, heaviness of structure, I think that gilt's got a lot going on. A little greener in her muscle pattern, but I think a good feeding kind of a gilt. The next one is going to be 112-5. That's lot 32. And this is one that Ben kind of picked out in the nursery in terms of her look and design. And she does have that look and design. But she's not quite as much in terms of everything there in terms of meat and muscle. But a gilt you do have to appreciate, and I agree with him on the side. That gilt is awesome looking. She's going to be one that's going to be better with heavier weights. You just push her and pull her all the way through. But I think a gilt that'll feed nice, maybe a better sow prospect on down the way, but I think in terms of quality of litter, you got to appreciate all three of these gilts. I'm very high on them. I think Ben and Lane got a very good start with their spot and Yorkshire program with their purchases here, and I'm very high on this litter.